to Your Hometown Solutions. I'm your host, Jean Newell, and with me in the studios today is my co-host, Jonathan Lack, with Waterview Title, Waterview Realty, and Lack Services. Could you add one more business to your portfolio here?
Next week, we'll be talking about the Hardest Hit Fund, and that's kind of a fourth hat. But without getting to that, thank you for having me back, Jean.
That's right. Oh, you're here every week with me. You're my sidekick. And I know you get tired of me kicking you in the side. But anyway, we're going to talk about real estate today, and we've got a great guest in the studios. All about home warranties, and we're going to introduce Sam Colton here in just a couple minutes. But one of the things I think, Jonathan, that we're seeing more and more is that when people are purchasing a home, and I like to include it in all of my home sales, is they're purchasing usually a resale, a used home, if you are so inclined to think of it that way. And they're always wondering, is that refrigerator going to work after I move in, and different things. And I think one of the things, the services that we provide that might be a little different than some of the other offices is we're always looking for ways to help someone in their purchase. And with me, it's always kind of giving them that little gift of having a home warranty. Just makes us a little special, a little different, because then when they move in, they don't have to worry about their appliances and air conditioners and so forth. Are you finding that seems to be a popular trend now, that people kind of want that and they're almost expecting that?
Well, yes, there are. Again, it's one of those nice little features, and we will be discussing it with Sam of BFS Home Warranty shortly. But the home warranty just gives that additional comfort level. Most contracts today are what they call as-is contracts, and that's a change in the world, in the marketplace, but that change occurred approximately 10 to 12 years ago when the market was really booming back in 03, 04, 05, when properties were selling so quickly that sellers were in a position to say, hey, buy it as is. If you don't buy it, the next guy will. So I'm not repairing anything. I'm not fixing anything. It is what it is. You take it as is. Then the market collapsed and the tables turned, but it became the same thing. The sellers were saying, you have to buy it as is because I don't have any money to fix it. And the house is upside down and not worth enough. So the last 10 or 12 years, everything is pretty much an as-is contract, which is contrary to prior to that. And we're seeing a little bit more again now as the market improves, which is your standard contract, which provides that the buyer has a right to inspection, which they have in the as-is contract as well. You have a right to inspect, but the seller has an obligation to make repairs up to a certain dollar amount is the standard contract, not the as-is. But as I say, we're seeing a lot of as-is contracts, so buyers are doing their inspections, but there's no warranty on it. So you do your inspections. Yep, the air conditioner's working now, the refrigerator's working now. But then, unfortunately, as Murphy's Law is, you do your walkthrough, it's working. You do your closing, you go back that night, and the AC's not working. Well, you know what? Too bad for you. The seller did their job. It was as is. You bought it. It's now your problem. So the warranty gives that little extra peace of mind, and it makes people just more comfortable that, all right, well, at least I'm covered for some amount of time. And we'll let Sam discuss more about how that warranty process works.
Well, let's do that right now. Let's bring Sam in on the conversation. We're happy to have, again, one of our favorite guests, and that's Sam Colton with BFS Home Warranty. They're out of the South Florida as well as the Central Florida area. And Sam, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
We always say, they're probably tired of us hearing this, the listeners, but we always say we cover everything from foreclosures to Feng Shui, and you're right there in that middle where you can provide that warranty for people. But a lot of people don't understand what a home warranty, the advantage of having it if you're selling your home and have purchased a home warranty for the new buyer, or if you're a buyer coming in and buying that home warranty or having your real estate agent provide it for you. Give us your, what do they call that, the 30-second elevator pitch. Give us your information about what it is about BFS warranty, how they service clients, and what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head there. It's a lot of people around here, especially, they just don't have the education. They don't know what the home warranties are. They think of it as insurance, which it's basically it's what your home insurance wouldn't cover. It's coverage on all the parts of the house that run that function, and all of our home warranties come with full repair and replacement. So it means if we can't repair the item, then we replace it, and with a brand new piece of equipment. And like you said, the advantage is not only for the buyer who's buying an older home that may have older appliances or AC or something like that. It's also for the seller. I mean, it helps the house stand out in the market. It helps people, relax when they're looking around it, not worry about, oh, well, that refrigerator looks like it's about to go, or that hot water heater looks like it's going to have a problem. And they can focus more on the actual home itself and the location, things like that, things they should be worrying about rather than the equipment and if it's going to break down or not.
So if I've bought a home, this is a scenario that just happened, and I've decided I'm buying an investment home, I can still have a home warranty on that investment home. So now when I'm renting it, I don't have to worry about my renters calling me because there's a problem with the air conditioner or with the refrigerator or anything else. They're going to be calling you, Sam.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. And we set it up. Our system is fully capable of, handling. You can put in multiple people, so you can have renters that are on there that can approve, they can call in themselves. They can approve things like that. You can have it so that you're notified, but you don't have to be, you don't necessarily have to have approval. You can even have it in there so that they can call, but if it's something, where we're going to have to do a major repair or replacement, that you have to be contacted for approval. We have that flexibility to kind of work with anybody, including property managers, people who are just not necessarily consider themselves a property manager, or just somebody who's renting out a space, or even, obviously realtors, people buying houses.
One of the keys to all of this stuff, like any other insurance, is, well, twofold. One is costs. Is it cost effective? In other words, if I know I've got an old refrigerator, but I know I'm going to have to replace it, if I can pay for this warranty and make you replace it, obviously that's great. But if it's going to last the year and then I'm going to have to replace it in a year and a day, again, going back to Murphy's Law, and let's say I didn't renew the plan, would it have been cheaper for me to buy an air conditioner, let's say, or a refrigerator?
Right. Yeah. And that's what I always tell people about it. The value is really in, we cover all these different things for people with our basic plan, which is $350 a year. But we also, that plan includes 2 full air conditioning systems. And that alone, I just, if you do the math, if an AC lasts 10 years, the value is there. It really is. You consider a normal AC system is going to cost probably between $3,000 and $5,000 to replace it. And if you're spending $350 a year, and you can renew this as many times as you want, and it not only does the replacement, like I said, we do make repairs. If we can repair it, we'll repair it, and we'll keep it running. And we do a yearly tune-up with all of our home warranties. So we'll come out and kind of keep everything, make sure everything's in order.
Is there a pre-warranty inspection?
So the way we do ours, we with most home warranty companies, there's a grace period in there for 30 days that there's not full replacement in that time period. And the way we do it, if the house is sold with the real estate transaction, it's normally sold with a home inspection. And if it is, we'll cover everything from day one. Full replacement, full repair and replacement from day one. And if there's something major in that first 30 days, we'll just ask to see the inspection report. And then as long as the inspection report says, yes, this was working, or it outlines the parameters or however they determined it was working, then we'll cover that with full repair and replacement from day one. So
using my Murphy's Law example, I have my buyer who has done their inspections and they closed on the home and they go home that night and the AC is not working.
Yep.
If we've purchased this warranty, then they can call you and you'll say, wait a minute, what do you mean it just died today?
Right.
And you can show, well, look, I got an inspection. The inspector said it was working. When we did the walkthrough, it was nice and cold, and now it's hot as can be.
Absolutely.
And they're covered.
Yeah, absolutely.
Worth
it. It's one of those things. It tends to not ever be that first, because if it's usually that first day, they tend not even call us. They go straight for the inspector or somebody like that.
Right, sure.
But we do get a lot. 2 weeks in, the air conditioner quits. They said, we just bought the house, we had it inspected, the AC inspected fine, everything was running good, and 2 weeks in, the AC broke, or the refrigerator just blew, and there's ice and water everywhere.
And this is continually renewable.
Absolutely.
So you're looking at a $350 a year maintenance, if you will, but then you come out and do replacement repair. What about the service itself? Is it one of those where, okay, my refrigerator's not working, okay, we'll be out next week?
So that's a very common thing with home warranties, is everybody's used to, we'll set you up an appointment in a week or two, or, we'll have one of the subcontractors contact you and they'll set up a date, or we'll contact them and come back to you. We don't do it that way. We have all of our own people, all of our own trucks. We have local branches that we run everything out of. So you're calling people that are in your area, and you're getting service techs that are in your area. And they're all our guys. They'll be in BFS trucks with BFS uniforms and coming from our warehouses and, have all, parts that we've bought. It's not a subcontracted out thing. And that's where we see a lot of the problems. That's where we hear a lot of the problems, both from customers and realtors, is that the companies that subcontract out, the subcontracted companies, it's not their fault that they're not right there when they need to be. It's just they have customers, they're calling them directly. So those are the people they're going to go to first before they go with the guaranteed work they have from some subcontracting home warranty company. And it creates a hassle. And that's what one of our main goals was to kind of resolve that problem. And we do it by having all of our own factory trained technicians. Everybody's licensed and insured. A lot of our technicians are even cross-trained so they can work on AC or appliances, but we also have specialists in either.
I think that's your big difference is that you service from within, and you don't. If they have an Amana range, you don't have to call Amana to have them come out. You're going to be out there servicing that almost immediately.
Right, and it's like I said, it's local people. You're not going to have somebody from Orlando coming down one day and then somebody from Sebastian the next day, and the next time you have a problem, and it's always going to be the same people. We're always going to have the same notes. We're going to know what the tech did last time. If it's a recurring issue or something like that, we're going to fix it and solve it. That's what we see a lot with home warranties, or that's what we hear about a lot from our competition, is recurring problems. And sometimes it's just the nature of service. Sometimes you don't get it on the first try. You fix what you think it is. If you don't get it, you got to go back and do it again. And the problem is if they're subcontracting out to a different company each time, the company that comes the second time doesn't know what the first company did. And it creates a laundry list of problems.
Exactly. Well, you've been listening to Sam Colton with BFS Home Warranty. Give out your website and your phone number.
Website is www.bfshomewarranty.com. And you can call if you have questions about service or anything like that. You can call me on my cell phone, 754-260-4163. And I always tell people, I always like to give out too, if you're just looking to sign up, you go online, you can find the information. You can always sign up online or calling our 1-800 number, 1-800-237-9910. And you can talk to Shirley in our corporate office, and she'll walk you through everything and make sure that you have all the information you need.
Well, one nice thing is you have a lot of different plans, but your basic plan that covers almost 16 items, I think I counted those up, it's $350 a year. And, all you have to do is have one or two service calls, and most of these service calls are anywhere from $75 on up, plus the first hour and the second hour and so forth. It wouldn't take long to get up to $350. But if you want to also add things to the basic plan, you can do it kind of a la carte. So maybe there's things that you would like to add that you don't necessarily want to have the next step up to a premium. And one of the things that just came up yesterday with a client, and it would be so beneficial when it's a house that they sold recently in Port St. Lucie, but they only spent a few months out of the year there. And she was telling me how every time they went back up north, their pool pump would always break. And they would be up north, and they'd have the pool being serviced by a pool company, and they always had to buy a new pool pump or something because if it started malfunctioning and nobody knew it, would burn it out. And so those are the kind of things that if you're going to spend a part-time in your home, having that warranty is going to be wonderful because you just never know when something's breaking and you're not there and you need to have it serviced. So those are the kind of things that people don't think about, but I'll tell you what, when you're selling a home, hopefully you'll find the right real estate agent to represent you, and you can always give us a call if you don't have one in mind. In fact, I'm going to give out Jonathan's number right now, Jonathan Lack, because he wears several hats. It almost rhymes, Jonathan Lack, several hats. Jonathan Lack, he's the broker, owner of Waterview Realty. And you want this number given out here or your
That's
cell?
fine.
Yeah, this one, 321-252, gosh, I can't even read it, 9566. And he also is the owner of Waterview Title Services and Lack Chartered Attorneys at Law. So anything to do with real estate, one call does it all. You'll be able to get a hold of Jonathan, and we can discuss the various things with real estate. But we like this type of a service where you have a home warranty because, again, if you're buying an investment piece of property, if you're selling,